Hi everybody! I hope everybody's having a great morning so far. Actually, it might be even lunchtime. I'm not quite sure. I wanted to do a video today. I felt inspired by a post I saw quite a few months ago. And this morning, while I was walking the trail with a friend, she just validated the fact that what messages I was getting were very important to share. So I hope you take the time to have an open mind and listen to what the messages that Spirit would like me to relay to you today. So I was gonna start with acceptance because, right now during a pandemic, even though we're not completely in isolation, it has been very trying and hard for people to accept the fact that this is going on and it's not over yet, and the unknown. We really don't know what's going to happen. So there's a lot of fear with that too. So what I wanted to talk about besides acceptance is, this is going to play into that, but there are so many people, which I love the terminology that my friend used this morning, who are sleepwalking. My analogy was that there are just people who have not woken up from the dream of their particular reality, because my reality and your reality is definitely not the same. None of us have had the same exact experience. None of us have had the same exact feelings, and we don't have the same exact fears. We don't live in each other's lives. So that's where the acceptance comes in. We're all at different places of our journey. And with all the stuff that's been going on in the world, with the pandemic, with the election, with people's opinions and the gossip and the drama and the hate, the focus really needs to get back to love. I'm not quite sure where all of you light workers are. I know you're out there and I know you're trying to do your best. Make sure you take care of yourself so that you can help us raise the vibration of the planet and of everybody else. But going back to these sleepwalkers, sleepwalkers are pretty much people who maybe that is their journey. Maybe they aren't supposed to have an awakening in this lifetime. There are those people who, when they see people waking up from their dream, kind of arguing with them, like, what are you doing? Or on Facebook, social media, Instagram, or even in person, people giving their opinion and saying, oh, well, I don't understand that. Or not even the fact that they don't understand it. They just downright degrade it or dismiss it. Ignoring it would be fine. Nobody needs to add their negative energy when somebody is trying to wake up from their dream. And what I mean by waking up from their dream is when things start to get uncomfortable. Certain people, you can't be around them anymore. Certain music you can't listen to anymore. Certain TV shows you can't watch anymore. It's like this sensitivity increases to anything that is harsh, anything that is negative, anything that, I'm sorry, there's this little fly. Anything that can be harmful to your spirit. And being a sensitive person to begin with, being an empath, which is somebody who can actually sometimes feel people's personal pain, I understand that completely. I know that when I was in a depression, I attracted all these other people who were negative, sad, anxious, just like me. And being around them did not help my situation whatsoever. So sometimes we find our relationships changing, and not just our relationships with our partner, but our relationship with our friends, our relationship with family members. And you notice sometimes that they're distant from you. And sometimes so much time goes by and you're like, oh, I haven't heard from that person in a really long time. Maybe that's just because you are on a different, you're in a different dream. You're in a different reality than they are. Kind of like going back to that article I wrote about the spiritual elevator. I've talked about it many times before. Sometimes we're just not on the same floor as the people we love. That's okay, because some of us wake up at different times and some of us don't. A lot of times, and I know that my friend mentioned this morning, is that sometimes people come here and they're not supposed to have an awakening. They're here to be more stuck in their mindset and negative, just to kind of, I'm not quite sure the 100% what the reason is, maybe for the contrast of positive and negative, maybe to help us spiritual people put up our boundaries and learn how to say no, learn how to distance ourselves from people who make us feel unworthy or not respected. I know that there's a lot of people that come to me for a session and want to know why this is happening to them. And most of the time, it's because they're having an awakening. They are being shaken awake from this dream state that they have to stay stuck, that they have to stay in this mindset that they were either taught from their parents, their mentors, or just that they carry with them from the experiences that they've had in the past. And we don't. We have a choice to wake up every morning and be grateful. We have a choice to wake up every morning and focus on how tired we feel, how unmotivated we feel. And don't get me wrong, that can happen every once in a while, especially if you didn't get a good night's sleep, especially if you're stressed out. It's fine. We all have bad days. We all have days where we just want to be lazy, and that's part of self-care. You have to listen to your body. But if your mindset is always in that frame of mind, always there, always feeling lazy, always feeling like you don't want to do anything, always negative, always complaining, always having pain, and voicing that to everyone, that is a vibration that can be harmful to those people who are not on that same level as you. So you have to be mindful. I mean, I know I try to be really mindful. If I'm not feeling that great, a lot of times I'm just quiet. I will do what I can to get myself feeling better. Getting out in the sunshine helps me a lot, and I'm so grateful for the sun today. But anyway, so what we need to do is we have to accept everyone, no matter where they are on their journey. Acceptance can be really difficult because we don't understand. I don't understand why people spread hate. I don't understand why people are nasty. I don't understand why people don't use turn signals. You know, like, I'm human. I get it. I understand that people get triggered and have anger and frustration. That's us being human. However, we do not have to go through life lashing out and complaining and being frustrated, voicing that. That is our choice. Yes, we do have to release our feelings, whether we cry or in reading one of Louise Hay's books, she says, if you're really frustrated, pound on your mattress, pound on your pillow, something that is helping you to release your feelings without hurting yourself or others. Words can hurt. So that's another thing that we need to be mindful of. Even people who are spiritual, I was joking around with a customer yesterday that, yes, because of our humanness, I love to drink decaf tea, I meditate, I burn incense. I still want to smack people sometimes because it's like you want them to wake up. And then you have to realize maybe they're not supposed to, or maybe it's not their time. So instead of being angry that someone is more spiritual than you, or that they are advancing with their spirituality by reading a spiritual book, by watching motivational videos and sharing them, just don't say anything. If it's a true friend of yours or a family member or someone that you absolutely love, then you'll be accepting. You'll be like, okay, I get it. You're not there. You're not where I am. And that's okay. You can read your books, burn your incense, play with your crystals, whatever. I'm going to stay over here and do my thing. Now, going and pushing that on somebody, meaning I am not the type of person, spiritual person, and I don't think many spiritual people are, that try to get people to follow what you want them to do. This journey isn't, your journey is not about me. My journey is about me. So if I give you, when you have a session with me, if I give you words of wisdom from Spirit, it's just whatever works for you. I know what works for me, and that's why I engage in a morning routine and a nightly routine. but I'm not going to say that this is definitely going to work for you. You have to go within and you have to try things and you have to figure out what works and what doesn't. But you also don't want to give up too easily, because I know so many people will try something for 2 or 3 days and that's not long enough. Especially meditation. Meditation takes a while to get into. For me, I have to find the time. I have to find a voice that I like if I'm listening to a guided meditation, because I can't get on board with certain people's tone of voice. Same thing with singing bowls or drumming. There are certain pitches that, because of my health issue with brain cancer, there's certain pitches that I can't listen to. Like, I can't listen to whistling at all. It bothers my head. I can't listen to too many noises going on at the same time. Like somebody has a TV on, somebody's listening to their phone, and it's not in sync. It bothers me. So what I do is I turn off the TV and I let the person sit there on their phone, just because it's uncomfortable for me. Even though they're like, it's okay, you can leave the TV on. No, I can't. I can't do that for me. So, you can keep playing on your phone. It's good. It's fine. But please try to refrain the best that you can from spouting out your opinion. When you see somebody who's working on themselves and they are enjoying it, just be quiet. You don't have to say anything, because that person is really trying to better themselves. And if you don't want to take the time and do that, that's fine. That's your journey. So just please, if you're a good friend, if you're a good, if you love somebody, you want to be a good person, you want to be a good family member, don't judge. Just do you. And be grateful that the people around you are trying to better themselves. Maybe you're not ready. It's okay. There's no judgment. You have to work on yourself when you are ready. And like I said before, some people don't want to. And those of us who work on ourselves daily, just make sure you have concrete boundaries. You can call on spirit to help you communicate with these people who are trying to bring you down. And a visual that I want to talk about was given to me from a friend who said, it's kind of like you have to picture yourself on top of a cliff. And the people who are not ready to grow are down at the bottom. And some of us, because we're givers and we want to help, we want to fix, we want to heal, we have this rope that the other person at the very bottom on the ground is holding on to and trying to get us to pull them up where we are. It is so much easier for that person to pull us down than it is for us to pull them up. And in that visual, we become enablers. We end up being okay with the behavior of people who are hurting us, taking advantage of us, because we don't say no. Because we are here to fix and heal and to spread our light. However, there is a time where we feel drained because we're doing that for everybody. And are we doing that for ourselves? I would say 80% people who do spiritual work don't, because they don't realize that that's a big part of us continuing to shine. You can't shine. You can't pour from an empty cup. So please be mindful of that. When a friend calls you and you feel like they are in a miserable spot and you are in a good spot, you're in a good frame of mind, there are times where, yes, you can get them out of it. I know I have friends that call me and they're like, hey, I'm on a low flying disc is what they'll say. Can you please get me to yours? I can absolutely try, unless I'm on a lower flying disc and I know that the only thing that's going to happen is I'm going to join them on theirs, and I really don't want to do that. So a lot of times when I go to answer my phone, I see who is calling me and I will ask Spirit, do you think it's a good time for me to answer that? And sometimes I will get no. And then I realized, there's other light workers in the world. There's other people who are on a high vibration who can help them. I can't do that today, or maybe right at that moment. So you have to let people kind of navigate their way through life. You don't always have to be the go-to person. I know that I have people that go to multiple people for healing and come to me for not only advice, but just to learn about spirit and angels, and they're very intrigued. And I do educate people on all of that. But I also have to tell people so many times, you have to protect your energy. You have to take care of yourself. You have to put those boundaries up, because when people see your light, they want that. They want what you have. And sometimes it comes off as the opposite. It comes off as them being jealous or angry or envious, and not understanding that. And that's just the way it is. I mean, we're not living in their life and they're not living in ours. So we can't get inside people's heads and understand. We just have to learn to accept. So today, even though my gratitude word is laughter, today we're making the word acceptance. Learn to accept where other people are on their journey. Learn to accept where you are on your journey, knowing that everything happens on divine timing. There's no rushing it. Self-love and working on yourself, that's a daily practice. You never end up stopping that. That's something that will go on until you die, because we are always learning. We are always growing. If we are open to do that, we have to first have an open mind. We have to have the ability to be patient. We have to have the ability to accept everything as it is, because we do not have control. The only thing we have control over is ourselves. That is it. You cannot control other people's feelings. You cannot control other people's actions. You can only do you. So I'm going to leave you with that. I do have notes here. I'm looking to see if there's anything else that I wanted to say. Not really. Except that when you are awakening, you're going to notice that drama and gossip, you don't have time for that. That's just something that you filled your time with because you weren't working on yourself. Like I said before, TV, radio. I mean, radio's okay. If you're listening to uplifting music that's going to, make you feel better, that's fine. But if you're going to listen to angry music, it's not going to raise your vibration. Sometimes when we're grieving, we'll listen to music that helps us release. That's fine. That doesn't mean you're on a low vibration. I want to tell you there is a little bit of a difference there. When you're grieving, yeah, I guess you are on a lower vibration, but you're also healing. So you know that it'll pass. You know that you will feel better soon. But that's something that you want to take your time with. You want to grieve, heal, and move past whatever you're feeling like you've lost, whether it be a person or a change that has you kind of uprooted. So just whatever I can do to help you, let me know. If I don't feel like I can help you, I will tell you that. I know that you just have to pray for the world, pray for yourself. Unfollow people if you have to. Unfriend them, block them if they're starting to really wear you down, and distance yourself from them. Because if you really are waking up, believe me, that energy is going to get worse and you're going to feel it. So just be mindful of how you're feeling when you're around certain people. Be mindful of how you feel when you eat certain foods and drink certain drinks, especially caffeine and sugar and all of that. Make sure that you are being aware. Being aware is really important. Being aware of how you feel when you walk into a certain place or a room. I had somebody come in the house yesterday who came to me for a session, and the first thing they said was, wow, the energy in here is just so peaceful. Well, that's because I create that space. I create that space as far as the music I listen to, I got rid of every clutter. I don't have clutter. I have no clutter in this house. I mean, if anything, it's been donated or sorted through, thrown away. There's no need as a spiritual person to have a lot of stuff. And you'll know that too when you start purging and realizing that you're awakening. Everything's going to change for you, but it's going to be an amazing experience because you're going to feel more peaceful, especially within. So keep reading those books. Listen to audiobooks if you don't like to read. Listen to inspirational music. Watch some motivational YouTube videos. Whatever you can to keep your vibration high so that you can keep shining your light and learn to forgive, accept, and be aware. And that's what I'm going to leave you with. I hope you're having a great day.